Canadians love to complain about Tim Hortons. Their mediocre coffee, weird new menu items that nobody asked for.
If you eat potato wedges from Tim Hortons, we can't be friends.
Or apparently, the brown people who work there. If you scroll through social media these days, there's racist memes, AI sloth, and offensive merch. Tim Hortons has always been a symbol of Canadian national identity. And today, it's become a battleground, with right-wing forces turning migrant workers into scapegoats, blaming them for problems others have created. How did this happen? And how do we make it stop? The stereotype of the international Tim's worker found its footing where many modern moral panics do, the internet.
Tim Hortons or Sing Hortons?
Taj Hortons?
My cousins came here and they first took over Canada, and now they took over Tim Hortons, and honestly, I just want to make Tim Hortons white again.
These clips disparage migrant employees for everything from supposed store and cleanliness,
Should have recorded that.
the quality of the food,
Hey Canada, has anyone else ever noticed at Tim Hortons that their quality is largely slipping due to this immigration?
to workers' accents.
Good morning to you, sir. Happy New Year.
On one level, this content demonstrates an ugly, lazy vein of racism, one that peddles cruel stereotypes meant to put down South Asian people and strip them of their humanity. But there's a second, more structural level of racism at play. These posts suggest that racialized migrants are an economic threat to white working-class Canadians, especially young people.
If you wonder why your kids can't get jobs at Tim Hortons,
I've actually seen the applications where it says you must speak Punjabi.
Hey sir, my name's Bobby. Just wondering if you guys are hiring right now. Good old Canadian kid?
When people say good old Canadian kid, I'm pretty sure they're not talking about black and brown kids. Pierre Poilievre has also joined in.
Tim Hortons has hired an unimaginable 1,131% more temporary foreign workers in the last 4 years.
And now his MPs are jumping onto the bandwagon. There's an irony here. It was a conservative government who first massively expanded the use of temporary workers as a way to service the needs of big businesses just like Tim Hortons. This was Stephen Harper's immigration minister, Monty Solberg, one of the architects of the program in 2007. Before, it took 5 months to get permission to hire a foreign worker. Now it will take just 5 days. Ladies and gentlemen, that's progress. And I think it's a pretty clear sign that the federal government is listening to the concerns of employers. Conservatives and liberals have since taken turns perfecting a program that keeps migrant workers precarious, vulnerable, and disposable. These politicians love to help corporations exploit migrants and then scapegoat them too. In truth, this practice is as old as Canada itself. Take a look at these two images. They were made over 100 years apart, but they have the same essential takeaway. And it could not be farther from the truth. Firing or even deporting migrants isn't going to fix bad wages or create good jobs for young Canadians, as right-wing politicians seem to suggest. But intensifying a more racist climate of opinion will empower corporations to push for policies that cheapen migrant labor even more. And lower wages for migrants always means lower wages for everyone else. That's precisely why the right wing loves to bash migrants. It's a powerful tool to distract workers from their real enemy, the corporate class. Tim Hortons is not your friend. It pays starting salaries well below a livable wage. It's notorious for union busting. And it's not even a Canadian company.
Burger King struck a deal to buy the Canada-based Tim Hortons coffee and donut chain.
Its owners made $1.5 billion in profits last year, with nearly half of that from Tim Hortons. But meanwhile, growing racism and xenophobia keeps workers divided. Without solidarity, workers can't fight for a bigger piece of that pie, or of that Boston cream donut. So how do we overcome this? The only way to fix shitty pay is to raise the wages of all workers. That will require migrants getting permanent residence and the same labor rights as others. We'll need minimum wage hikes. And it's time to tax Tims and other corporate giants and use this revenue to fund guaranteed job programs. In recent memory, we've seen Canadians bring the right kind of energy to this issue. In 2018, Tim Hortons in Ontario tried to cut paid bathroom breaks and health and dental benefits after a small minimum wage hike. People were furious. Customers complained, protests popped up across the province, and Tim's eventually backed down. Imagine what would happen if we directed our anger to those who deserve it, the CEOs who pay us badly, and the politicians who enable them. Now, that's something truly worth complaining about.